I was like, clutching my pearls. I'm like, this is smut, okay? But I love it. Like, I'm totally a fangirl for life. These books are juicy and, gives a little naughty inspo, to end the night. So, girl, go get you a little get yourself a little naughty time. It's fine. Yeah. Anyway, I'm blushing now. Forget about dirty girl, clean girl, rich white lady, garbage glam autumn. It is time for smart girl autumn. And I have just the list of the must read books for fall 2024. Here's some alarming news. According to the National Literacy Institute, only 54% of adults in the United States have above a sixth grade reading level. 20% of those adults are below a fifth grade reading level. And according to an article by Inc., only 43% of adults in the United States read any kind of literature that's not required for work or school. Also, it's really good to note that some of the wealthiest and most successful people in the United States, think of Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Oprah, that they dedicate a significant amount of time to reading. So clearly they are onto something. In order to get you on the same train as these successful and wealthy people, I've compiled a list of some awesome books that you should definitely read this fall. The first recommendation I have for you is Mastin Kipp's Claim Your Power. This book is a transformational self journey. It's a 40-day workbook style kind of book, and it takes you through different prompts and different self-discovery questions along this 40-day journey to help you uncover some of the trauma that you've encountered and how to heal from that, and how that trauma or different experiences in your life contribute to some of the behaviors that you do, including self-sabotaging behaviors, some of the habits that you do that benefit you or that may not serve you. And it really helps you define your purpose and then helps you develop a way to start living that purpose in an authentic way. And I really do recommend reading this book. I will say, to be completely honest, that I really love Mastin Kipp's book. But when I did a little bit more research into him as a person, I just found that I wasn't really into him as much as a person and his coaching strategy and some of the things that he says, like on his social media and some of the other platforms that he has contributed to. I don't necessarily love everything about him or everything that he says, but I will say that this book has helped me in a tremendous way, and I urge you to consider this. Sometimes it's really important to be able to take somebody's message and ignore the messenger, and I think that's definitely my experience with Mastin Kipp and his book. I loved his book, not necessarily like in love with him, but that's one of those instances where I ignore the messenger and just focus on the message. So give this book a consideration. The second book that I'd like to recommend for your fall reading list is Brianna Wiest, The Mountain Is You. Now, I am sure that you've seen this book all over the place. It's recommended time and time again for a good reason. It really helps you be aware of your self-sabotaging behaviors, but not only acknowledging them and realizing how they show up in your everyday, but these self-sabotaging behaviors are not necessarily there to harm you. They're actually something that you develop in order to protect yourself. And sometimes we take it too far, and what used to serve us or used to protect us doesn't anymore as we continue to grow. And I think that she makes some really good points in this book. And what I like about this book is that she gives really specific examples of how self-sabotage can show up in your everyday life. And I found a couple sneaky ones in there that I was like, wow, I do that. And I didn't realize that maybe there's some, hidden cause behind that. I wanted to share with you a couple points from the book so you can kind of get an idea of her approach. Within our self-sabotaging behaviors lies incredible wisdom. Not only can they tell us how and what we have been traumatized by, they can also show us what we really need. Embedded within each of self-sabotaging behavior is actually the key to unlock it, if only we can understand it first. So I really like that because she talks about how if we understand the self-sabotaging behavior, where it comes from, we can kind of uncover what need it was filling at any given time in our life. Let me just give you an example of one of the self-sabotaging behaviors that she gives. And it's very specific. It may or may not pertain to you, but you can get an idea of the style and what she's uncovering here. So the way you are self-sabotaging, eating poorly when you don't want to. We are all guilty of this. We've all done this before. What your subconscious mind might want you to know. You are doing too much, or you're not giving yourself enough rest and nourishment. You are being too extreme. This is why your body is requiring that you continue to fuel it. Alternatively, it could be that you are emotionally hungry. So there's two things that seem unrelated, right? You may be eating, overeating or eating food that isn't really good for your body. And we might think, oh, it's just I'm starving or I'm hungry or I'm just addicted to junk food. But it could be a deeper underlying need of I'm emotionally hungry or I'm doing too much. I'm not allowing myself to receive any kind of other nourishment. So that just kind of gives you an idea of her style. I would say that this is a really good read for anyone who is frustrated in, maybe achieving their goals, or they feel stuck, or they're trying to establish new habits and they just don't feel any forward movement. I would recommend checking this book out because there might be some underlying issues or some needs that aren't being met that are preventing you from doing the things that you want to do. And this might help you get some more clarity and awareness on that. So I definitely recommend checking this out. So the next book I want to share is Queenology by R.C. Blakes. Now, quick little disclaimer, this does have a spiritual slant to it. He is a Christian pastor, so if that's not your jam, that's fine, but I encourage you to look past that angle and still look into the valuable insights that he has to share. The things that he shares in this book are applicable regardless of your spiritual preference or the ideology that you follow or that you don't follow. So I really recommend that you give it a chance. This book is all about how to embrace your divine feminine energy, to elevate your existence, and to get the life that you desire. So I really encourage you. This was recommended to me by a friend and I had never heard of him, and I wasn't really down with a lot of the beliefs that he holds, but I was able to kind of look past that and just really read it with an open mind, and that's something that I encourage you to do too. You may love it, you may hate it, but definitely something worth checking out if you're looking to embrace more of your feminine energies. If you're somebody who's looking to learn more about your feminine energy and how that can show up in different areas of your life, I would definitely recommend checking this book out. He's got a lot of powerful insights, and it is interesting reading it from a man's perspective, but I think that both men and women can add value to that conversation. And I just wanted to share with you something really quick from his book, and it's: a queen is the quintessential woman possessing the ultimate presence and excellent character, empowered by a no-nonsense approach to life, love, and business. And I just really love the way that he almost comes from like a proud papa talking to his daughters. And I don't have a dad, and I didn't really have a father influence in my life growing up. And I know that that has been something that I've been seeking in different avenues of my life, and it just felt really comforting to read this book and to learn more about how feminine energy can show up in your life and that can serve you when you're trying to elevate your existence. So I definitely recommend checking this book out. Before I dive into the rest of the books that I wanted to share on today's list, I just wanted to say welcome to Truthatude. My name is Lindsey, and if you're new around here, I talk about confidence and all the different areas of our life that we need confidence, and how to build our self-esteem and how to move through the obstacles that can hurt our confidence or diminish our confidence. And I really wanted to create Truthatude as a collective environment for women to support each other. So if that sounds like something you want to be a part of, I would highly recommend that you subscribe to the channel and become a part of this community. If you are one of the returning subscribers, I'm so glad to have you back. Thank you so much for your continued support of the channel. And you can see Zulsa, she's in the background sleeping, but she joins our videos every so often. Thank you so much again for being a part of this community. I put out videos on Tuesday, so subscribe if that's your jam and you want to see more of me and my puppy and the things that I have to say about building your self-confidence. Also, for today's video, you don't have to scramble to try to write down the names of all of these books that I'm recommending. I will leave links for you in the description box for all the books that I recommend. And also, I've created a free download that has the book list that you can check off during the fall as you read them. You know, I'm kind of a list girly, so I'll leave a link for you to download that freebie. It's completely free, no strings attached. I'm not going to spam your email 5,000 times a day. It's just so that you can have your cute little checklist and mark off the books as you read them. So diving back in, the next book I want to recommend is kind of a fun book, especially for all my fashion girlies out there. It is Color Your Style by David Zyla. And actually, I came across this book from one of my fellow favorite YouTubers. Her name is Ellie Jean Royden. She is a personal stylist and she's fabulous. She's so cute. I love her. I'll leave a link to her channel somewhere so you can check her out and support another YouTube girl out there. This book is super fun. It helps you identify your color palette based on your skin, your hair, the color of your eyes. It helps you discover like your undertone. It gives you color recommendations for different occasions so that you can kind of set the vibe with the color that you're wearing. It gives you recommendations for decor and what pieces would be, you know, the best colors to place in your home to kind of give you the vibe that you're going for. It's super fun and it's kind of like a workbook style, so you can go through the chapters and learn about the different color tones for yourself, and then you get to basically, by the end of this book, create your own custom color palette so that you can know what colors suit you the best, when to wear those colors, for what occasion to wear those colors, where to place those colors strategically in your home. It's just like a really fun book. I kind of nerd out on stuff like this. I'm not like a huge fashionista, but I've always loved fashion. I've always loved style, and I've always loved like figuring out your color and your style and like your aesthetic, as all the people would say nowadays. I feel like that word is so overused. One of the things I really love about this book is that it helps you identify what colors to wear for certain occasions or how to set the mood. So if you're going for like a romantic vibe, there's a color for that based on like your skin color and like your tones. And one of the things that like I found for myself was that my version of black is not actually black. Like black is not as suitable of a color for my skin tone as like a dark charcoal gray or like a navy blue slate color. So that was really kind of fun to find out, and that like my true red is more of like a raspberry color, which is kind of fun. And he even includes like interior design tips based on your personality and the color palette that fits your tone scheme. So that's really fun. I kind of nerd out on stuff like this, so bear with me. But anyways, you should definitely check out this book, David Zyla, and then also check out Ellie Jean Royden. I think I'm butchering that name, but Ellie Jean Royden, she's a fellow YouTuber as well. She is just so cute, so definitely check her out and support her channel. If you have seen any of my other book recommendation videos, then it is very obvious that I'm really into personal development books. That's kind of what this whole channel is about, is personal development and personal growth. But something that I kind of switched up at the beginning of this year was, I always read my personal development books in the morning, but I switched it up at night to reading nonfiction. And for all my girlies who just love to read for funsies, I have a couple recommendations for you. This book is called A Touch of Darkness, and it's by Scarlett St. Clair, who is a fellow Indigenous woman, and she's an author based out of Oklahoma. And funny story about this book, I did not know that this book was what my grandma would call smut. It's a little naughty. A friend of mine, we were just in a bookstore and she was like, we should read a book together. And she's not as much of an avid reader as I am. So when she suggested that, I'm like, girl, you know I go through books like crazy. And she's not really a reader. So when somebody suggests reading a book together, like, I assume we're kind of on the same pace and we're going to talk about it and whatever, but I breeze through books. So anyway, we just randomly picked this book by the cover. Like, it was cute and it kind of looked a little like mysterious, and I just like that dark vibe. And so we just picked this book randomly and we kind of read the synopsis and we're like, ooh, it's about Hades and Persephone, which I'm totally into Greek mythology. So as I start reading this, I'm like, oh, this is cute. And then there gets like some dirty scenes in there. And I was like, clutching my pearls. I'm like, this is smut. Okay. But I love it. Oh my God. So I've read the entire series. There's like 4 books in this series. And then I started reading another series by Scarlett St. Clair. And I'm in. Like, I'm totally a fangirl for life. These books are juicy. And I have just enjoyed reading nonfiction at night so much. It kind of gives my brain a little break and, you know, gives a little naughty inspo, you know, to end the night. So I definitely recommend checking out A Touch of Darkness, but also check out the whole series. I think this is the first book in the series. Girl, go get you a little you know, get yourself a little naughty time. It's fine. Yeah. Anyway, I'm blushing now. And the final book that I'm going to share is called Pope Joan. Now, this is an interesting book. It is a historical nonfiction based on a true person. I don't know what you would call that. But basically, it's by Donna Woodfolk I can't say her name. I just can't say her name. It's by Donna Woolfolk Cross. And it's basically the story of this woman who becomes a pope, and she masquerades as a man. And it tells her incredible life story about how she grew up, you know, from a young girl and ascended to becoming the pope. And it talks about how she was treated and how she led this life of secrecy. And the thing is this is based on a real person. So there is some discrepancy in historical documents on whether or not Pope Joan actually existed. And one of the theories behind it is that all notion of Pope Joan was destroyed. That it was such a scandal in the church that they wanted to erase all traces that this woman even existed, that she was a pope for a few years. It's a very interesting book, and I actually stumbled upon this book by accident. I just picked it up off like a dollar book rack because I just always like do that and just pick random books. And I'm so glad. It's got all kinds of great stories. The characters are amazing. It's such a good read, and I'm so glad I randomly found it. So I would definitely check this out, Pope Joan. I hope that you enjoyed these recommendations. I hope it was a good kind of combination of some personal development books to help you build your self-esteem and to help guide you along that journey a little bit further, and also just some books to read for funsies. Another exciting thing before we go is if you are interested in working with me on a deeper level, I am opening up my coaching membership, and it is going to include some group coaching sessions so that you can make some friends and, you know, get the value of connecting with other women and learn from each other. But then also I will have a limited space for one-on-one coaching sessions with me. So I'm going to leave a link. You can sign up for the wait list and you will get the first dibs on when I open up that membership. It's coming shortly, so just be patient. But I just really wanted to take my time in developing this and creating something really impactful and authentic and helpful for the women that have supported this channel, supported me, have helped me learn and grow. And so this is kind of my way of giving back to you. So like I said, there is a link in the description box to join the waitlist so that you can be the first one to hear when the membership opens and get to be a part of this amazing community in a more intimate way. I'm so excited for this, and I just really want to share this with you and create this tribe and continue to grow it and just continue to support you on your journey, and also to continue to learn from you. I've learned so much just from the comments and the messages that you guys have sent to me. And yeah, I'm just really excited about it, and I can't wait to see you guys there. So don't forget to sign up on the wait list and stay informed, and make sure that you subscribe to the channel too, so that any little bits of information I drop, I'm going to drop them on YouTube. I've mentioned this in the most recent video that I'm not really active on social media anymore, so I just kind of got over it. Anyways, another Oprah for another day. But to hear the latest information, you're gonna want to join the wait list, because I'll send out emails, not 5,000 of them, just most important ones, and give updates on the actual YouTube videos. So be sure to subscribe, join the community, leave me a comment. Let me know if there's any books that you're going to be reading this fall. I'm always on the hunt for book recommendations. And also, like I said, you can download the free book checklist so that you can mark off something so satisfying about ticking off a list. I think that's why I create these lists. But that way you can kind of keep track of your fall reading. So staying on track with this new little tradition I've started, I'm going to end the video with a couple of journal prompts. What was the first book you've ever read? What is the most memorable book you've ever read, and what made it stick with you? What book do you find yourself reading over and over again? I will tell you that the first book I ever read was The Very Hungry Caterpillar by Eric Carle. I think I read it when I was like 3 or 4. And it's still one of my favorite books. I think that every kid, if you're a mom and you have little kids, this is such a fun book. It's so cute. And one of the most memorable books I've ever read was The Book Thief. It is such a big book. It broke my heart. I was like grieving over the end of this book for weeks afterwards. It just stuck with me so much. And then a book that I find myself reading over and over and over again, I actually read it almost every year, is You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. It's just a good reinforcement of reading that book. If you haven't read it, it's in one of my other book recommendation videos that you can check out on my channel. I hope that you enjoyed this book list, and thanks again for watching. Be sure to check in next Tuesday because I am launching a brand new series. It's called Cafecito y Chisme, and for all my güeritas out there, chisme is basically the hot goss, and I will be spilling the tea on some of my personal experiences, some of the wild stories, unbelievable experiences I've had, and some of the lessons that I've learned. So it's going to be a little bit more casual of a setting and just kind of going with the flow, like a little intimate conversation between girlfriends. So definitely check out next Tuesday the first episode of Cafecito y Chisme. You don't want to miss it. So I'm definitely spilling the tea on some good stuff. And like I said, if you want to work with me on a more intimate level, definitely sign up for the wait list for the membership. I will be releasing it soon, and you don't want to miss out on all the goodies that come along with it. So that's it for today. Thanks again for watching, and as always, stay true to the Truthatude. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.